Awesometown. Come along with us. Come along to Awesometown. Come along with us.
She used to be an actress.
Did she ever do anything I've seen?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know, the shows on TV.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you know there's a show, and there's an invention called television, and on that invention, they show shows.
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show's called a pilot. And they show that one show to the people who pick the shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't and become nothing. She started in one of those ones that became nothing.
Welcome to Couch Pilots. All of you are my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is the awesome one. It's Catherine Phillips.
Helping can.
Helping can.
Can we get Couch Pilots t-shirts? Somebody design a Couch Pilots t-shirt that says Helping Can on it.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
You are the awesome one.
Thank you. Not as awesome as you, but
Well, you're patient zero for awesome as far as I'm concerned.
oh, thank you. I'm spreading it all over.
You're a super spreader. That's right.
That's what she said.
Hey, come on. Hey, you know what? High five that shit.
Here's a question for you. So, obviously, I masturbate a lot, right?
Okay.
I'm married. I masturbate a lot. So, I developed this rash below my belly button, but above my pubics, right?
Wait. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
It's not a joke. It's funny. I mean, so
It's not a joke. It's funny.
right, which means I don't want you to say anything. But so it could be one of three things: A, I have like acid cum. It's causing me a rash.
Like Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
Yes, I guess. Whatever. I'm glad you get it. Hey, and you nerd.
Come over here.
I don't want to come over. To hell with the consequences. B, my belt is causing me to have a rash because the coating is wore off of it because it's so old. Or 3, the inside of the button to where your pants, you have a button that goes on the inside. One of that.
So you have an all button fly?
No, it's just the one button, but it's the exact same spot
So the rash is very small, like.
Oh no, it's like this big around.
Is that how big the part of the button is?
But it's gotten worse.
Okay, so
I think it's the belt and all the like pewter is wore off of it, like all the coating is wore off of it, and I'm allergic to the metal.
But why is that touching you directly? Don't you have?
Because I'm fat, and when I sit down, my fat goes over the top of and sits on my belt buckle.
I see. Okay.
So which is it? One of the three. 1, 2, or 3.
Brump. Oh, I thought you were saying
She
3, 2, 1.
She brump. She might be Liz.
I would say. I mean, just start picking off variables, man. Get a new belt. See what happens.
I bought some new jeans.
Okay.
And so there's, it's not the button. So I think it is the belt.
Why did you present the button as an option?
Because it's right there too, and it's constantly in contact.
You know those round little Band-Aids that you put over like warts or what have you?
Yeah, it won't fit this rash.
No, I was gonna say put that over the button on the pants.
Well, a lot of people said if it's the belt, put clear nail polish over that. Like
okay, smart.
But my wife bought me some clear nail polish. I haven't used it yet. I'm thinking it's a pretty cool strong ass cum.
Oh, so you think it's the Mortal Kombat jism that's doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why can you maybe redirect it somewhere else then?
I could.
Okay, this is what I would say to you. You know how the Hasids have sex through a sheet?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
On their wedding night.
Yeah, but in this case, you get a piece of visqueen and just put it over the top of it.
Okay.
And then so you kind of are covered
in visqueen. Can I use
saran
wrap?
Yeah, but I think that'd be a little bit more unruly because saran wrap like sticks to each other. Have something that you can easily maneuver within or redirect it into a different location. And I think that would, I mean, it's just about eliminating variables. Hello?
Welcome to.
Hello? Oh my God. I think our guest has asked his wife to identify the rash because she's a nurse, and our guest just took a picture of Blake's rash.
It's just a lot. Right now, no. Tell her. No, stop.
Hey, don't
Stop.
send that to me.
Tell her right now. It's a 3. It's been a 7.
On pain?
No, out of irritation.
Now we're using the couch pilot scale where 7's the worst or a 7 out of 10.
No, 7's the worst. I'm at a 3 right now.
Eliminate variables. You've done so with the new belt, right?
No, I didn't buy a new belt. I bought new pants.
You've done so with the pants. Okay.
I have not stopped jacking off.
Give it like about 3-4 months, and then try.
Who has 3 or 4 months?
Get a nice salve.
I'm going to. What's that cream? That anti-edge cream, the clear stuff. Oh, it's white.
Clearasil.
Oh,
Hydrocortisone.
Hydrocortisone. It feels so good when I put it on there.
Dingo.
Well, no, asshole. I don't put it up my asshole.
Don't Eli him. Preparation H. Intro our guest.
All right, folks. You know this guy. You know my behavior when he's on. I am very appropriate. I love this guy. I wish we were closer friends, but I understand why being a friend of mine would be very painful and bad for his reputation.
He says all these things on his own.
He has the best hair I've ever seen. He's a pretty good basketball player, but my favorite thing about him is every time I see him, first time we lock eyes, we high-five it and say, what? Fuck the Lakers.
How's it going, everyone?
Matt's on the show.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you for having me. This intro music really just gets me into a really weird headspace, but
It's distracting. It's distracting.
I've been texting Heather trying to sort out this rash above the pubic bone, but below
The belly button.
the belly button.
We just had this conversation last week where it's like when men are presented with something, we want to figure it out. Give it a solution,
Yep.
fix it. We want to fix the problem. And that's immediately what you did. You're like,
yeah.
Blake has a problem. Let me fix it. Where we said women just want to like get emotional about the issue
Right.
and just let it fester, which a fester is a good word, again, for your rash.
I was going to say, it sounds like the festering got him as high as a 7, but she said one response, and I didn't tell her
About the cum?
Well, no, I didn't.
Okay.
I spared her that, but she may have to.
One of God's cruelest tricks.
She may have to hear it.
She's heard so much worse. But she said, to the first part, I said, question for a nurse. Blake says he has a rash between his belly button and pubic bone. What's he dealing with? She said, definitely the clap. And then I sent her a picture of it.
Of the clap.
Right. From Google Images. And then I sent her the picture of Blake's waistline here, and she said, mumps on his lumps? Question mark.
He's got mumps. He's got mumps on his lumps.
Has he received any personal wax jobs at sketchy salons? That'll definitely do
Can you
it.
ask your wife to be serious for a second?
This is serious for her.
That last one is the most serious one, I think.
I think so.
I think you've probably had a couple of wax jobs in back alleys.
Yeah.
No, it's strictly, it has to do with, I think it has to do with me being allergic to metal.
Do you want me to tell her about the reproductive material?
No, I want you to tell her he thinks it's because... Get over here! Can we be serious for a fucking second?
We're talking about you coming on your stomach. Can you tell me if we can be serious?
It's Matt's wife. It's different.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I've been speech
Say-
to texting this whole thing. Go.
Tell her he's concerned that it's coming from his...
How do I spell that?
It's coming from inside his nuts.
You know what? Fuck you guys. I'll go smoke. You guys do the show.
You're not going to get better.
I'm asking him. I'm
He's
asking
concerned that
it has to do with my allergic reaction to the metal after the coating has wore off of his belt.
I bet that's it. Because
Yeah, it's got to be.
how cruel of a joke would that be from God to make you allergic to your own reproductive
It's
material?
just like if you wore a wedding ring and you get
the
a
old green
breakout.
finger, right? Yeah.
Or a breakout for because you're allergic to when you buy a belt, it's made of whatever kind of metal, but they put a coating over it.
Right.
to make it last longer.
Yeah.
Once that, obviously that rubs off over time.
That's right.
And then your body is in contact because you, like a little help can. And so your body...
Helping can.
Or he thinks it might be acidic reproductive
No.
material.
Helping can.
You know what? Let me call your wife.
You want to get her on the line? Or he thinks it might be
Don't
acidic.
give him her number.
No, I want him to call her because you guys are making a joke out of it, but I'm serious. It bothers me.
Should we call her or not?
All right.
That's a tough one.
Okay, I was going to thank her for the cookies and then talk about Blake's red hot poison jism.
No,
but we should
you guys. I very seriously doubt it's the jism. That was just one of the things I do. So I'm trying what comes in contact with that area? A, jizz. B, the back of the button of the jeans. C, the belt.
Ask her.
No,
Let's see
you
what
don't have to do
happens.
that.
Let's see what happens.
What is when did you change your jeans to have the button situation?
Well, I just bought 2 new pairs of jeans, which I want to have a conversation about that. That pissed me off. But I just bought 2 new pairs of jeans.
Okay.
But I still have 3 other pairs.
Okay, that's fine.
It's the belt.
All right, let's put. We'll maybe we'll talk to Heather. Maybe not. It's not a big deal if we can't. I totally respect that. But we should say, are there any residual feelings or ruminations concerning the bout you guys had on
Yes.
the
I'm
basketball
glad
court?
you just started there, Jay. Honestly, because I wanted to bring it up. I would say I'm just now emotionally healed from the end of July.
Because I almost beat you?
No, because I had you and what you were wearing barreling down on me for 2 straight games. You played a very physical match, and I wasn't prepared for that. But there were so many sexual overtones that I've been through a lot of counseling.
Did you, when I got out of the car and I walked up, did you expect any less? Did you not think
But
I was
it was even more. My expectations were far too low.
Because I look so good?
In so many words.
I looked so good. This full 4.
I think you should have done makeup, some sort of bizarre,
Rodman-esque,
Well, I was gonna say gold dust-esque,
that's-
kind of
yeah.
intimidation paint. Because your move, and I mean maybe some offense, was all it's all psychological. You had to play the mind game card.
Well,
right?
what else? What other card do I have?
Like a skill and physicality.
Well, we know I didn't have that.
I mean, okay, what you had going in, you had the
okay,
height
but-
advantage,
so-
and then you had potentially the mind game advantage.
So,
That
but
was
my
it.
first one was okay, what you need to do is psych him out with like anger, because he's not an angry guy. He's Matt. To see him get angry, I've never seen it, but
He takes that on his dog.
Oh gosh.
Hello?
So I thought, let's just be an
young.
asshole and scare him, because I could see being able to scare him. I'm like, no, that's not the right way to do this, because it's Matt, And I'm like, okay, well, I can't hang with. I knew I couldn't hang with him on a talent level. I'm like, all right, well, what's the best thing? Make him to where he's fucking laughing so hard that he can't concentrate. And you're right. If I would have done makeup, it might have just. But here's the thing: when we were playing basketball the whole time, the 12 hours that we played basketball,
It felt like
because it was neck and neck.
yeah.
He never looked me in the eye, ever once. And I said something to his wife,
Does he look you in the eye?
no. And she said, no, he looks at the dog. But, and pets the dog, which is,
high five that.
that was good. But, you know what? Way to sacrifice for the team. But he wouldn't look me in the eye, and it was either your wife or the guy you play basketball with. And he's like, yeah, that's part of his thing. He won't look in your eye as an intimidation factor. But for me, I'm like, you need to look me in the eye because I'm a big fat fuck in a crop top and underwear outside of my. So his talent overseated my talent.
What is the reason that you don't look in the eye?
You go. Nah.
Is that a point of just focusing on the ball, or is there some sort of?
But you're supposed to be looking at the hoop.
this is
You're
gonna-
supposed to be looking at the hoop.
Someone called me out on this many, many moons ago, and all I can figure is that. So I've had to play most often as the the lightest and the smallest
And
guy
the
on the
widest.
court and the
And the
widest
widest.
for the longest time.
Sure.
So for me, I can't focus on my opponent. I can't focus on their size or how. All I have to focus on is putting that ball into the hoop. Now, when they have the ball, all I focus on is the ball, not the person. And for me, I've made a pretty good, I don't know, career. That's how I get around.
It's not a career.
Nope.
You've
Get around
never
the
made money out of playing basketball.
But no part of
You
it.
just called me a cunt.
Yeah, he did.
Au contraire.
It's not the first time today.
You want
could call
to
that.
know how much I flipped those jeans for?
But
Have you framed mine yet?
no part of it is psychological, right? No part of it is like I'm not looking
Oh.
at you to mentally get it.
intimidate
It's
them.
not intimidation.
No.
It's out of just bare necessity of like what you need to do as a very little man with a little penis. Well, that's what he said.
I don't believe. Can we rewind that back?
Let's get Heather on the line.
So it is basically just focusing on the ball and the task at hand.
But you have to look at the hoop, and you have to look at the other. Now, do you do that when you're playing 5-on-5? Mm-hmm. Really?
I don't
How do you
know
know where
that,
everybody else is at?
It's kind of I don't know. It's I'm just very familiar with the environment. Like I know where my teammates are and where they should be, and I'll of course look around the court. I'm not a point guard
Do you wish you were a little taller?
or a baller.
Did you wish you had a phone?
I'm not sure you and I'd call her.
Yeah.
Hello? Hold on.
Adele.
Hold on. Heather's gotten back to us here. She says, well, first of all, he's clearly not wearing a belt because I said you were concerned about the belt. I recommend he take a shot of the strongest liquor he's got, then apply another one topically to the area.
She's making a joke of it.
And if that doesn't work, then hydrocortisone fixes almost everything.
that's good. You should always have some on hand.
This is the last part. But I suspect the root of it... oh, gosh. But I suspect the root of his issue is hygiene. I can't read that. So I imagine the possibilities are numerous.
No, read it.
Can't read it.
You got new pants. Get a new belt. Get some hydrocortisone on there. And then what was the other thing? Oh, stop jacking off on your stomach. I think that's it. And then
Basically,
you'll cure it that way.
Matt's wife, who has met me for maybe 45 minutes, basically is telling me that I don't shower enough.
She's saying that it's a possibility.
No.
It's not a
She
possibility.
just thinks it's on the table.
No, it's not.
Well, she saw the picture, and I think she's...
Well, I didn't.
She wants to know...
Maybe I don't trim like I should, but I'm married for like 8 years now, so why trim?
I don't think there's a lot of hair growth. We just saw it from the picture.
She wants you to get that mole looked at.
You know what? I hope that mole kills me, to be honest with you.
Gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I wish I was dead.
captains have turned on the fasten seatbelts.
I'd be so happy.
You don't mean that,
No,
Blake.
I do.
You don't mean that.
Matt, that's a whole other show.
So we're ready?
Yeah. Okay, we get it.
This is painful memories for Blake.
What do you mean painful?
We were out there for 12 hours.
And I was a baller the whole time.
I saw some raw material there.
Yeah.
You stirred the echoes.
You know what? I played freshman basketball.
Darn straight.
So seriously,
My.
if you said, "Hey, was it Blake's accuracy, strength, or cardio?" You would say it's cardio, right? That was my problem, the biggest problem.
Oh, that let you down?
Yeah.
Yeah, cardio comes up first. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
A lifetime of smoking. Did you say you stirred some echoes there? Is that what you said?
He did. Yeah, out on the court. I could see some raw material.
I
think he put it through his leg once.
Well, I didn't want to get fancy. That's the thing. I was like, don't get fancy, don't get cocky.
Don't get any rebounds. That's one of the only things you had.
That's not right.
And there was a couple times where like, what do you, let's get the rebound.
I couldn't.
You may lose by less than 10 if you get the rebound.
Just wait. Just wait, because
The bowling beatdown.
There's going to be a rematch.
Are we?
Oh, gosh.
End of the show. All right.
Okay.
For the people who want to stay tuned.
Yeah.
End of the show.
The two people that want to stay tuned.
I think there will be a gauntlet thrown down. Today we
Sorry,
discussed
Dee Dee
and Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Today we discussed the pilot episode of Awesometown from the year of our Lord 2000 plus 5. Great year.
2005. I loved it. I loved 2005.
What a great year.
Good year for the Roses, Blake? No?
We're talking about Awesometown. Blake, did you go to Pound Town?
Let's see. It was 75. So I was 30.
Yes, fine.
Yeah, I was 30. Oh yeah, I was. Great year for the Roses. Begging chips all over.
You were begging chips all
No,
over
it wasn't.
the
I
place.
was
Banging plantain
I was
chips
having
left
sex
and
with
right.
my wife at the time. That's when she liked to have sex with me. So.
But that's
Great
not
year
your
for
current wife. That's an old wife, right? 15 years ago, you weren't with Molly.
Oh no.
Do you have a concept of time? 15 years ago, were you married 15 years ago or not?
Yeah, I was. Oh
Is this wife number 2?
no, I wasn't at the time because I was dating a different person, and it's the girl that licked my face. What was her name? Yeah, because it was my 30th birthday.
This is not the Mountie cop, right?
No, it was my 30th birthday, obviously, and we had it at in Sunnyland.
Yeah.
At Tyrone's,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the girl that licked my face. Remember the first time we had sex, and she was living with her mom, and she licked my face. Like
You keep saying that. I don't know.
We've talked about it before. What was her name?
I don't like.
God
I
dang.
don't think I like my face licked.
No,
I
well
wouldn't
that
know
was
about
that was the
that.
thing.
Yeah.
It was the first time we were like not intimate and like kissing, but the first time we were like naked, like like we knew sex was going to happen, and she was like, I guess she was trying to be a lioness or something. She was like, from my chin to like the top of my head, she went, ugh. And she was like the face that she made after she did it. She was like, oh yeah, you like that? And I was like.
It's like pretty cool that I just did that, huh?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna get through this because I know what happens at the end.
What happens at the end?
Oh, what happens at the end? Oh yeah,
She gets a rash between her
Nope.
belly button
I
and
was
her.
gonna say.
she had an affair with my stepbrother.
She had an affair with your stepbrother. Oh boy, do you still are you in contact with the stepbrother?
Yeah,
Who is it? What's his name?
Matt. I just made things for him.
Oh, it's not your brother-in-law. It's your stepbrother.
Yeah,
Do I know him?
Matt. I don't think you've ever met him.
Okay, but there's another Matt too, right? What's your wife's brother's name?
Oh, Matt.
Okay. Let's get Eli down here. I think he's got some names to dole out. Let's talk about things that happened in 2005 so we can properly digest Awesometown, which in the time frame it came out, and not 2020 standards.
No, we can't judge this pilot on 2020. We had no idea that Donald Trump was going to be president. We had no idea that there was antibacterial soap in a pump, a foam pump, and we didn't have Band-Aids back then.
That's true. We'll talk about some things that we did. You mentioned Trump. Matt, you don't really talk politics, do you?
In the right circles, I will. Right settings, yeah.
We did talk a little bit last episode. I'll say that I mailed in my vote already.
Yep.
And then when this comes out, it'll already be decided. But this is before the election actually took place, and I told him that I had mailed in my vote for Joe Biden. That's what I did. Have you mailed in a vote? Are you planning on voting at all?
We'll be
or?
in person.
You'll
We'll be in person.
Okay. Do you go to like a local school to do that?
Yeah, it's at a like the municipal building in Morton this
Okay.
year.
And Blake, you said you plan on voting or not?
No,
No, that's okay.
I'm not registered.
That's fine. You don't have to.
I'm not registered.
Now
to
I
vote.
talk
wasn't-
Supreme Court, but I don't. I will talk politics, but
Okay.
my main interest is the Supreme
You know what, Matt? My thing is there's three things I want to talk about: politics, religion, and her.
Like the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix.
No, that's good. That's a good movie.
It's a weird movie.
That's good. I like that movie.
I just thought it was
I
a strange third.
I saw it in the movie theater.
This okay. So you're talking Supreme Court, which is a hot button issue now, and when this comes out, probably won't be.
Yep.
But I'm going to guess that you are for this person that's going in.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want
Sure. By and large, I would say I am.
to. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's. He wants your microphone.
Oh, shoot. By and large, but well before Amy Coney Barrett, and any justice on the bench. That's been an interest of mine for some time. But again, the right
Are you
circles
waiting
to have
for Ruth Bader
Bader
Ginsburg to
Ginsburg?
die? You were waiting for that? You said it's like
Oh no!
so it's
I
been a
said
hot-
no.
Okay.
She at 94. Yeah, she was.
an awesome woman.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, thank you.
Trailblazer.
I was gonna have to kick him out of the-
Trailblazer,
Oh,
yeah.
my
I was gonna have
gosh.
to kick him out of the house.
No.
It's from Portland, man. She's a trailblazer,
Oh my
baby.
gosh, she's an amazing woman who shaped not just the legal scene, and also some of the laws that we abide by, but just an incredible person. If you when it came out that she was very close, like personal friends with Anthony Scalia, and they couldn't have been more polar opposites on other ends of the spectrum on the court, but their families were close.
Right.
That tells you about the person.
Sure,
That
sure.
tells you about the person. Yeah.
Remember a couple years ago too? They had I never remember this guy's name, but he's kind of that bro-y douchebaggy guy that they elected to the Supreme Court. You remember him?
Brett Kavanaugh.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry if you like him. I apologize if you like him.
I don't know that I like him. I don't know him personally, but I don't.
You don't?
But
Why is that?
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
There-
Ask him to go to St.
I
Louis.
don't know
with us.
him. Yeah.
Ask him
I
to go
don't
to
know
St.
him
Louis.
personally.
Him and his wife to go to St. Louis with us.
But I saw enough during the confirmation hearings to say that this was not the right pick.
He seemed like kind of a bro-y, kind of douchebaggy guy to me.
Anyone that tells you that
Is this the guy with the calendar?
yeah.
that a
the
devil's
calendar guy?
three-way
Yeah,
is anyone that lies under oath that they believe a devil's three-way to be a mixed drink and not two guys and a gal is lying to you.
And if Matt knows what it is,
Amen.
you're damn right. Brett Kavanaugh knows what. Okay,
Amen.
see, the thing about him though is like I've heard later, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg said he's a decent man. And again, I think that speaks to her character,
Yep.
not to be divided by political lines, but by the
that's
character. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he is a good guy based on what she said, but just her ability to look past some things and get to know the person.
Yeah.
Speaks to her character.
I do have some. Oh boy, that's a rabbit trail. But I do have some concerns when you mentioned Biden and Kamala Harris about. There's a lot of fearmongering about packing the court. I don't think that's going to happen. But since 1869, that we've had 9 justices, that odd number of justices. That
I doubt that'll change.
I really do. I also doubt that. But it's going to be brought up enough that it's going to be. What's the lack of a better word? Annoying that it's.
I think annoying is the right thing because, I mean, is that really what we need to be focusing on? Is the number of justices versus the amount of injustices happening?
Amen.
And what is a Supreme Court? Because I know when I get a Supreme taco, it means just sour cream and tomato.
It's everything's. Or Supreme Pizza.
When I get a Supreme pizza, it's usually like it means onion, green pepper, sausage.
Mushrooms.
I like
hate-
mushrooms.
Hate mushrooms.
I had Emo's pizza twice in 2 days. What do you think about that?
COVID, just calm down. We're just
COVID 5?
Okay.
High five.
You know what?
They
This guy loves me so much. He's gonna.
I'll take your COVID.
Hey, you don't want this COVID.
You say COVID too?
That's what Heather thinks you have.
November 13th. November 13th of 2005, Andrew Stimpson, a 25-year-old Scottish man, is reported as the first person to have been cured of HIV.
That's pretty heavy.
Does that make him? No, he wouldn't be patient 0. He'd be patient
One. Patient 1.
I don't know what
Minus-
that...
Minus 1.
patient -1.
yeah, it means he's patient -0.
Mm-hmm.
0 can't be negative. Andrew Stimpson...
He looked right at Blake when he said.
Yeah, of course he did.
What's
Because I'm a dumbass, and that's what he enjoys about this show.
I didn't look at
I'm the
him.
dumb guy.
I didn't look at
I'm
him.
the dumb guy. Let's make the dumb guy say something and then laugh at him. That's what it is. That's what this show is built around.
What was the back burps?
Pretty good. They say that AIDS or HIV is like the new diabetes because you can like live with it now.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
Magic
this.
Johnson has shown us all.
Magic John, that is insane though,
It really
right? Like a
is.
man who
It's
contracted HIV in probably what, like seriously 92.
92-ish, around the Dream Team time is when he came out with it. But
Not-
he probably contracted it, yeah. a little
But like
bit before-
92 is like, remember like Freddie Mercury said, "I'm gay."
And he died.
I love
10
men,
minutes later.
and
he
I
died, yeah, like next
he
day.
announced he's like, "I have AIDS, and I'll be dead tomorrow."
Hmm.
You're like, good God,
And he probably had just as much money as Magic Johnson, right?
maybe.
What's
Yeah.
always surprised me too is that Magic has been married to his wife, Cookie, for however many years now. Excuse me, 25, 30 years probably.
But he
yeah.
likes to have sex with guys in the butt, even though he's married.
I don't know how to respond to that, but
You did it.
Just say what in the butt. Just
He
say
takes
that.
he takes upwards of, and I don't know how real this number is, but $2,000 worth of pills.
Oh, I'm sure.
per day.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
He does.
To stave
Magic
off.
does.
Drugs
Yep.
are keeping him alive because he can afford them.
Well, I think that's another piece of it. Yes, I think that would be absolutely another piece of it. Yeah.
But like, how smart is Magic Johnson to be like, okay, well, I have AIDS and now I can't play basketball anymore, so I have to take this money that I made and I have to become a crazy successful businessman.
and NBA executive.
Yeah, I have to do that to live. I mean, he's worth a ton of money still,
Oh,
right?
tons. But his name, I mean, he is LA. Magic is LA.
I don't get. How long did he play basketball?
Not anymore. Kobe's.
Was it even?
Kobe Bryant is LA now. Yes.
That's probably fair, but
Thank
Magic
you.
is. Yeah.
How long did he even play basketball? It wasn't even 10 years.
16,000
Well, he was before
years.
Jordan, and Jordan was 84.
But
so,
okay, so like maybe 10
well,
years?
10, 12 years, yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty good career in the NBA, I guess. But I just feel like it wasn't. I feel like he wasn't super popular for super long before that happened. You know what I mean? No.
No.
They had won
Okay.
4 or 5 titles.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrong then. It's just odd that people like very successful people had AIDS at that time. A guy like Freddie Mercury, which to me still is one of the scariest things ever to announce you have. It's like today.
Yeah.
It's like if Matthew McConaughey said, "Hey guys, I've got COVID-19. It sucks," and then tomorrow's like, "Oh, we're gonna throw him in the ground because he's dead now."
We almost lost Tom Hanks. What
How
was that?
how
Yeah.
scary would
Yeah,
that be though?
That'd freak a lot of people
It's
out.
the
Yeah.
equivalent, right? It's the same thing. To announce you have a disease and die from it the next day, and then an early adopter of the disease is still alive 30 years later with Magic Johnson. That's crazy.
Maybe on a higher note, it's been like Alex Trebek. Stage 4 cancer.
Yeah. He's still.
And he's still with us.
But that's only been 5-6 months.
Is that all? I felt like it'd been longer than that.
I think that's around the time of COVID starting, right? Is
Really?
what it's-
Yeah, okay.
It goes to show you if you have money, you can stay alive.
Yeah. And maybe he answered cancer and
Do you think Bob? Do you
The
think?
Daily Double.
Yeah.
Do you think that Bob from the middle of Indiana, who makes $25,000 a year,
Fort Wayne?
Bob Dole?
do you want to be serious or no?
If I don't want to be
Not
serious.
Bob Dole.
No.
Fort Wayne, fine. He's in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay, cool.
He makes $27,000 a year.
Yeah.
3 months ago, A, he has stage 4 cancer, or B, he contracted AIDS. Is he still alive in 5 months? No.
He won't finish the sentence saying I have AIDS before he dies. Oh, you're welcome. I don't know why you would thank me for that, but
I'm just thank you for agreeing with me.
I think that's fair. I do.
It is fair.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
November 22nd, Angela Merkel assumes office as the first female chancellor of Germany.
Okay.
Yep. She's gone toe to toe with Trump a number of times. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you? When is America going to have a lady president? Probably when Joe Biden gets elected and then dies 30 days in from old age and senility, and then you have Kamala Harris.
Kamala. Yeah.
Kamala.
Yeah.
Is there? You think does she have a sister named Semi?
You have to ask her parents.
I will.
Don't ask her.
What's that?
Yeah. She sent me a really suggestive email.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala
did?
Harris did.
Really?
I'm going to find it.
While you're doing that, I'll say surgeons in France carry out the first human face transplant, with Isabelle Dinoir becoming the first person to undergo it. Blake, while Matt's looking up an email about trying to sex up the next vice president of the United States, whose face would you want to have transplanted to you? I said that right.
I would say Top Gun, Val Kilmer, even Tombstone, Val Kilmer.
Okay.
Like I think those two faces.
Good looking.
Not Val Kilmer now because there's
see-
a hole in his throat. I don't want that.
I would choose that though.
No.
Well, I'm not looking for his throat. I'm just looking for his face. I would want
No, he does not look-
2020 Val Kilmer's face. But you say you want Top Gun.
or Tombstone. I'll even take Tombstone.
You want Iceman face.
I never saw that movie.
Here's
No,
one.
that's his name. Iceman and Top Gun,
Batman.
right?
Here's one
Oh,
on
yeah.
October 1st that says, "Are you free tomorrow?" From Kamala Harris.
Oh boy, here we go. Put on the calendar.
On 10/2, she followed that up with, "I'd like to give you a call." Um,
And your response was?
Do your votes
on-
count for more than mine?
and on 10-3, she says, respectfully asking for $25.
You should.
She was just after my money.
You should. I would give Kamala Harris $25 if she called me. Why not?
That'd be great. What if she called the show?
26.
50.
26.50. That's right.
This show would be in the mesosphere.
We wouldn't be able to. Our Patreon would be clicking.
Oh my gosh!
It would be constantly.
all that campaign money you guys would be getting.
It would constantly be clicking.
Yeah.
Do you
We could actually buy a real plane.
do you reveal how you vote or not? You don't have to get into it at all. If you
I
don't
won't
want
say
to.
my candidate, but
Okay.
it will be neither of these candidates.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you. So neither is in the front runners.
That's right.
Okay. In that, do you feel like you're throwing your vote away?
I think the best way I can answer that is, and it's going to sound like a cop out, but I promise you, a lot of thought has gone into it.
I believe you.
If I lived in Ohio, in Iowa, Vermont, Florida, a swing state,
Yeah.
I think it would give me much more pause. One of the benefits, and I don't mean to pile on with Illinois, is that one of the benefits, though, in this particular situation, is that I
know which way the state's
I
going to go.
don't live in a swing state, and I know that 7 million votes in Chicago are largely going to swing.
So you know
the
that
election.
this state will vote Biden.
I get to vote with my yes.
So because you feel like there's safe, you must lean more towards that way. And I don't want to put words in your mouth
Certainly.
at all.
Yep.
But you must lean more towards that way if you feel like you don't have to vote for that person because he's going to win anyway. To have a third party candidate.
I'm conservative.
Joel Olstein is who you're voting for.
I'm writing in Joel.
So you're writing candidate. Me too.
Well, you got 2 votes right there.
Okay, because that's what I when people say that
I'm writing
it's-
in Jesse Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about time.
Well,
About time we get a black man in the presidential office.
I will say this.
God bless you.
Sorry.
I am conservative leaning, but I'm an independent. I genuinely want to. I am not I'm not a party goer. I haven't been for a long time.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I've hung out with you at parties, and you're like, I'm not doing this.
I'm out of here.
You know what? 5 more minutes. I'm going to eat some more of that dip, and then I'm out.
Yeah, get that dip.
But I really am. I'm biting my tongue because I know this could just tailspin. But
Yeah, you don't.
I'm trying to give a nutshell.
You don't
here.
have to say anything
Yep.
more than you want to. But well, I'll kind of echo what you say is that I don't just go. I don't vote Democrat all the way down. My mind is open to whoever I like and whoever I feel is the most genuine or has the ideas that I align with the most. It doesn't have to be one party or the other. But I know people that just do that, and to me, it's like I feel like and there's a lot of people like where it says, here's 100 people you can vote for on the back. A lot of times I don't vote for that because I'm not educated on those issues. I vote for the ones that I know a little bit about and have the ability to vote for, but I'm not going to just lock in one side or the other.
I voted on 2 issues for the first few votes that I was able to cast in my voting life. But I will say this administration, and I don't like to just say Trump because it's more than Trump, it's an administration. This administration has made me more than a single issue voter and more than a 2-issue voter.
That's smart. I think that's really smart to throw your head in on one issue. I don't think is doing your self-service.
That's right.
And I've said on this show plenty, but I think Donald Trump. While I don't think that Donald Trump controls the country, I'm smart enough to know
That's what I mean by the administration.
There's
Yes.
an unbelievable amount of shit happening behind the scenes
Yes.
that we will never in our lives even remotely know about. What I do know is that Donald Trump is an embarrassment. The way that he acts, the way that he talks is embarrassing to this country. So almost that solely, like when he makes fun of retarded people, when he makes fun of John McCain, like, hey, maybe you should fuck yourself because that's like go to hell.
If
man.
I may,
that's awful.
can I pile on just
Please.
for a second? But so when Trump lost my vote was in 2016, and it was the clip of him at a town hall, and there was a. And this kind of hits home for me, but there was a gentleman who was asking him very pointed questions and maybe even aggressively so, but he had a disability, and Trump openly mocked him on mic.
That was the first thing.
camera.
Like that was the first
embarrassing.
thing.
That was the first one, and I'll just speak from a place of vulnerability here. As someone with a disability, to see him mock someone else,
Yeah.
that hit me to the core. And I thought, that's a window into
100%.
a window into the core of who he is. So right then is when I walked away
Yeah.
from that. As
And
an
Matt's
option.
disability is he's so fucking hot.
Oh, jeez. Oddly enough, I saw that coming.
I really didn't know where that was going. Okay.
Yeah, the way he
Move along.
talks.
No
more?
Let's move along.
No more? Okay, fine.
We all know what's going on.
Matt,
It's already passed, actually. So what's the point?
Matt, why did we choose to watch Awesometown? Blake's keeping us on track here.
All right. So it can only have one failed episode. And on one episode, it must have failed, right? Only one out there?
You can word it however you want.
That works. You were giving me the look like it almost didn't fly.
Well,
He just wants to talk more
the
politics.
the explanation was
It was a little sideways.
it was a little sideways, but
All right.
yeah,
Available online,
yep,
and it's got to be free, baby.
yeah. So he got 2.5.
2.5. I used to say it like I used to try to do the double negative on purpose, right?
Well,
it can't have had more than one episode.
That is a double negative.
It
you're
can't
right.
not have had.
That's good. That works for me.
Yeah.
You can find the entire episode of Awesometown by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links or go to YouTube. Matt?
You'll know what to do, tubes.
He said tubes.
Flight attendants.
He said tubes.
That's what she said.
Sometimes to a guest, I'll be like, or go to YouTube. I'll say the guest name, and they're just like, oh, yeah. so like, I'll
Giddy
take,
up.
I'll take, yeah, giddy up. Yeah,
I'll take tubes over nothing.
Yeah, I'll take a plural of two versus. So just
That's
like,
been my spin on it for I don't remember how long. Yeah.
Like, I'm doing
4
you
years.
a favor by being here.
Trubes.
That was funny. That was funny.
Summary of the pilot: a sketch comedy pilot created by the dudes of the Lonely Island. Yawn and then rate it.
B+.
Matt, do you care?
I usually just let him vote on
Okay,
that,
you
or
don't
him
have
cast
to.
a.
I'm not going to grill you on how you want to vote. Okay, you can say as much or as little about voting. You
I
want
was still in a voting mindset.
a third party.
I don't know how to grade. I think my best. Yeah, I'm going to recuse myself. I don't know how to.
That's fine.
To grade that.
That's acceptable. We will always demand that you rate the pilot at the end.
Yes.
But some of
Right.
these along the way, you don't have to chime in on. Interesting facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. Hey, it's Awesome Facts. Jason's going to give you some facts about this pilot that you may not know. You're going to listen to them, you're going to absorb them, and you're not going to share your thoughts with anybody else. Don't take anybody else's experience. Jason, give us some awesome facts. By the way,
What hard times are, Daddy?
By the way,
The Miz, who is quoted right there, is now the Money in the Bank holder.
okay, yeah, I don't.
I know, it just go on.
I do watch some amount of wrestling, but it's usually like TNA wrestling on Pluto TV.
Tits and ass?
I don't know if that's what it stands for. Oh no, I think it's Total Nonstop Action.
Oh, I thought it was tits and twat.
Jeez, good lord! What I watched today
Too many
was
T's in there.
it was Mankind, Scott Steiner, Booker T. Who else was there? Oh, AJ Styles was awesome.
Do you mean the mankind that called this guy out?
The very same.
The very same.
I looked at him like, and he was like, "That idiot said my full name."
Yeah.
That was pretty
I
good.
still owe you for that.
For what?
I'll buy you 3 rounds in St. Louis. That's probably $75 worth, right?
Holy moly!
Mercy.
For that?
No one's. You don't owe me anything, Blake.
He said he'd do it. Just take it.
Don't ever say that to me.
These drinks are. Yeah.
These drinks may have been rough.
I know how your wife likes to drink.
They're
It's
stiff
gonna-
down
it's-
there. Yeah.
Interesting facts. This pilot was made by the Lonely Island, made up of Andy Samberg, Yorma Tacone, and Akiva Schaffer. Frack, only in Pennsylvania. Following the success of their online presence, the Lonely Island secured a pitch meeting with Fox's then president, Gail Berman. There, the trio showed executives the video for Just Two Guys, which received a popular reception.
It's a fact.
Fracked.
Only in Delaware.
You like fracking?
Huh?
Are you a frack boy?
I don't care. I really don't care. We're all gonna. The whole world's gonna blow up. We're gonna die anyway.
I'm gonna live forever.
Really?
I found a way.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna use all my OnlyFans.com money to stay alive forever. I'm gonna
What's your handle on fansonly.com?
Feet Boy.
Foot boy or feet boy?
That's
Plural?
feet.
Feet boy.
He shows both of them.
Yeah, both. I show them. I leave nothing to the imagination.
Yeah.
Following their deal with Fox, they produced a self-titled pilot called Awesometown, which the network passed on. MTV and Comedy Central also passed on this series. As a result, they began to question whether the material was humorous enough for a wide audience, and they subsequently released 2 versions of the pilot on their website: the Fox edited version and a director's cut. The director's cut version was more to the cast's liking, with raunchy, absurd skits and no studio audience. Fact.
It happened.
After increasing profile within Los Angeles comedy circles led to a writing job at the 2005 MTV Movie Awards, hosted by former Saturday Night Live player Jimmy Fallon. His praise, in addition to word-of-mouth spreading to others at Saturday Night Live, among them Tina Fey and creator Lorne Michaels, led the trio to audition for the series in mid-2005. For his audition, Sandberg impersonated a 1980s jogger, which if you haven't seen, it's very funny, commenting on the recession. SNL hired the trio in late August with Tacone and Schaefer as writers and Sandberg as a featured player. Fact. You okay? Are you tired?
I'm exhausted.
Do you need to be rubbed down?
No.
Some sketches from this unsold pilot were reused when the cast joined the writing staff of Saturday Night Live. Fact. Executive produced by the power team of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the guys behind 22 Jump Street, The Lego Movie, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Those are big movies. Fact.
Fact.
And finally, Andy Samberg says about the project, Awesometown was the name of a TV pilot that I made with my 2 creative partners, Akiva and Yorma, right before our SNL auditions. It was all sketch comedy, and we wanted to be kind of a sanctuary from natural disasters and wars and everything that was getting you down. End of interesting facts.
Done.
Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses.
Yeah, I got a handful here. Some pretty good ones. I got 3 different people that responded, actually. The first one is Chris Romano. And Chris Romano, he just played one of the background characters. I said, as we do to all the creators, writers, directors, the cast members, and the producers of any of these pilots, I say, greetings from the Couch Pilots podcast. We talk about TV shows that had only 1 episode. Next up for us is Awesometown. We're excited to watch it and wonder if you had any fun or interesting info you'd want to share. Thanks. We hope to hear from you. And I sent that over to Chris Romano, who was in the pilot, and he said tag team is more up my alley. And I said, believe you me, the Rowdy Piper and Jesse Ventura pilot is definitely in our sights. Are you not the Chris Romano involved with Awesometown? And he says, no.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It would have been awesome if I was, but it's not me. And I said, well, if you have the same name, that's cool. Please DM me if you're interested in watching it on YouTube and discussing it on our show purely on the merit of having the same name as a cast
There you
member.
go, a proxy.
Nice. That was good.
I did not hear back from him after that. Next is Jeff Brian Davis, who played the cowboy. And this was only in the intro. If you blinked, you may have missed him, but it was right in the beginning. And Jeff B. Davis is a fairly successful comedic actor, participating largely in the success of Whose Line Is It Anyway? He's been on many, many years of that program. Yeah. And you can find him at Jeff Brian Davis. That's Brian with a Y. And he had followed us, so I followed him back. So he sent me a DM, as we discussed in the last episode. And I said, do you have any fun or interesting stories? And he says, I do. Let me know. And I said, awesome. I'm sitting down right now to record, but I will reach out in a little bit if that works for you. And then I get back to him later. I said, hey, thanks for responding. I'm checking out your IMDb, and it's a virtual comedy all-star resume of the past 20 years. How did you get involved with Awesometown? He said, the Lonely Island guys called me and asked if I could show up wearing my cowboy outfit I wore on Halloween for their opening theme song. I said, yes. You'll never see me that hungover on camera again.
Nice.
I said, I was hoping it was something like that. The cast list reads like a who's who of Channel 101, which was a comedy series, website, and show kind of run by Dan Harmon from Community, Sarah Silverman Project, Rick and Morty. I go on to say, a bunch of seemingly like-minded comic actors getting together to help each other out and have fun. He says precisely. I said, I'm getting together information about the pilot now and look forward to watching it. Thank you for taking the time to share that story. Continued success to you.
Nice.
Once someone answers with a one word, I think it's done. So I wrap it
They're
up.
kind of, yep.
Last one, and probably the biggest one to answer, is executive producer Phil Lord, who, like I said, was heavily involved with the Lego movie and that very successful Sony film, The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yep. And one of my favorite shows in the past few years, Last Man on Earth. Do you remember that with Will Forte? So the character on that show is named Phil Miller. So you have Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who created that show. They took bits of each of their names and created Will Forte's name of Phil Miller. Anyway, he goes on to say, and he's Philip Lord on Twitter. He says, I made the vanity card at the very end. Chris photoshopped the bumpers. Mary Heller is the waitress in the crowd during the big musical number. Everything else was the dudes. And again, the dudes are the Lonely Island
Three guys, yeah.
I said, I appreciate the response. Thank you so much. Hashtag Last Man on Earth. And that's all of our Twitter responses.
Nice, good job.
Not
Well
bad.
done. Yeah, that's
a
Windfall.
three-fister.
Oh, that was a three-fister for sure. Let's put 10 minutes on the clock, and let's break down the pilot episode of Awesometown. Matthew, I really appreciate you being here. Why don't you start us off,
Absolutely.
if you don't mind?
No, I'd be happy to. So it really, it really kicks off with it. All happens kind of fast. You mentioned like the cowboy from the outset, and you get a sense. Aren't they introducing themselves pretty quickly on stage? It rolls through. It's got Jack Black a cameo. Maybe that's where I should start.
As George Washington.
As George Washington,
Someone else who's
gets-
heavily involved in
Yes.
Channel 101.
It
that's-
gets really profane.
Sure, he
Right.
gets a little profane, but I catch myself thinking, oh, okay, Jack Black's going to be a steady throughout the rest of this.
And you never see him again.
He's not. So he does an intro. It rolls into, I believe, is it very shortly after they end up on stage, kind of introducing themselves?
But there's a whole musical number in the beginning.
Come
Yeah,
along
right.
with
Yeah.
us.
That's true.
Come
Yep.
along with us.
A lot of singing, people in a city, the dudes introduce themselves, and yes, come along with us.
Give us all your trust. is what I wrote down.
Well, but and also during it, there is like one of the guys does that like gangster rap part.
Yorma
like the-
breaks off
yeah,
from the like
it just-
kind of the
it's like,
melodic part.
Beep, beep,
yeah.
and then beep, you know, he's
And it doesn't fit. They give him
no
a look.
Yeah, it doesn't fit for sure.
This is when I first noticed too that there is an ill-fated, in my mind, laugh track on this show.
That
Throughout
was
most of it, you even hear it towards the end.
in,
I mean,
at
they
the
lay it.
beginning with Jack Black. It's very ill-fated.
I do not like the laugh
Hey,
track.
hey, hey.
The dudes come out to the audience on like kind of a set of a city, like a stoop in front of like a brownstone or something, and they introduce hot dancers, and it's their moms, and they come out to Danzig's song.
Mother, tell your children not. Well, they say this is the way to start off. We're gonna have our moms come out and dance with us.
Yeah.
And the other two guys, their moms actually come out.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg, hot ass girl,
Some
comes
Hooters
out.
waitress comes out.
Yeah. And then they're like, hey, 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 and he's like, okay. And then he gets this real mom out, and they dance dirty with each other.
Yeah, a lot of dirty dancing.
R.I.P.
The next sketch is the one Dirty Dance. R.I.P. What?
Daniel
Swayze?
Day-Lewis. No, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Did he die? I didn't even know he was sick.
He go.
COVID.
He go.
Claimed another one. This is the first of I think 3 or 4 quick sketches called Castaway.
Yep.
What do you remember about that?
Well, I remember the first one. I didn't know if this was going to be either a long sketch or, like you said, a series of them, but they're basically all just sitting there, and the camera just keeps rolling in on how long their beards are. What do they say to each other? They're like going.
And the one guy with the worst beard, he's like, sweet beards, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, your beard is not sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his beard sucks, and that was the whole thing. It's just three guys who've been stranded for a while and talking about beards.
They're not hanging on this for very long.
No, and they
it's
don't
a
even
very
really talk about it much.
No, yeah, for sure. So the next skit is in space, and there's an alien and a guy, and they've been stranded on there, and the alien has both male and female genitalia.
It's like it's an alien, like and a human, both like stranded with no one else around, right? And so what happens? I mean, it's like when you're in prison, right? The guy starts being like, "Hey, I'm going to have sex with guys."
Eventually, right?
Right. So basically, the alien's like, "Hey, I'm
do it.
I'm in the married way. I want to, right? I have both sets of genitalia."
Right. And then 1 year later, he's like, "Hey, still remember that thing I talked to you about a year ago?"
Hey, think about it at all?
And the human's like, "No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this." And this goes on for like 4 or 5
3 or 4.
times.
Yeah.
And then the last part of the scene is the human has got his like spaceship put back together and it's fixed, it's ready to go. And the alien comes again and is like, "Hey, we just want to do both of my parts or whatever." And he's like, "I got to leave." And he's like, "Before I left, oh yeah, I fucked that alien."
Well, the alien like puts his hand on the ship
Right.
that he's been trying to fix, and it finally fixes it.
Yeah.
And he wins the affection of the
Right.
human. Yes.
The next bit is they're sitting on the sidewalk, the three of them, Indian style, and they're playing 20 questions. This is very short, very quick.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of bits I like about this show.
This is an exactly $0 budget
Right.
segment.
Oh, it's crazy.
They're sitting on a sidewalk, like probably on the studio lot somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
They're playing 20 questions, and you just got to know unicorn. That's all you got to know.
Yeah. There's a commercial, and then after that it says "Thanks for coming back," and they do a little song, and they do an exploding high five, which I was very jealous of because of all the high fives we do on this show.
Oh, yeah. High five that
Kind of
shit.
one up that. Yeah.
The next bit is it's just Andy Samberg is standing all over the town, and one of the guys is just climbing on him.
Is
And
this the one? Just two guys having a good time? Is that
No,
what it is?
no, no. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Almost there. No, this is just Andy Samberg standing around, and Yorma, who's notoriously the smallest of the three members.
He's just climbing all
he's just
over.
climbing on him.
And
Yeah.
it's like cut shots from all over the neighborhood.
And then we have another Castaways where Yorma's trying to start a fire by rubbing sticks together while the other two like critique him. And then
It's a masturbation joke, right?
is it?
I didn't catch
took
that.
it. Oh,
Well, one of the
well,
other two.
you know what? Try it, Matt.
Yorma says, "Why don't you light it with your perfect beards?" and gets upset and runs away. Not bad. And this is what I think you're talking about. Two guys having fun, just two guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The next part.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's all I have written down.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
that's all you have written down?
I just have two
I
guys.
could have wrote 3
It was
pages.
no.
I could have wrote 3
Go,
pages.
you take it, yeah.
So, Just Two Guys music video, and this is where we first see the Lonely Island with their musical. That's kind of what they're
Outside
known
of
for.
that intro, yeah.
That's kind of what they're known for, right?
Yeah.
And it. This song is called. Oh, it's not "We Need Love." It's the other one. But anyway,
It's like having a good time.
having a good time. But I this is where I really started paying attention. I was like, oh, I'm going to write a lot of shit down right now. And so you can tell this was recorded earlier than when they did the pilot
Oh, you think
because
so? Okay.
because both of them look younger. They have different haircuts. So this was recorded back when they were just doing videos
This is
on
just
YouTube.
Yorma and Akiva.
Yeah. And Just Two Guys has become like my new like thing. Like they do multiple videos throughout their, but this is
They only do this one during the show.
Right, yeah,
but you
but
mean as the
yeah,
Lonely Island and
right.
the stuff they've released
and,
on their
and
website
it's just
and online?
what I like about it is their awkwardness. They're
Well,
just
there's like no affect to them. They're just very still.
Yeah, it's our two white guys
Yeah,
in
it's
LA
like emotionless
doing a
almost.
rap
very,
song.
very
Right.
stoic and
Yeah, very
emotionless
stoic,
guys.
yeah.
And it said we're just two guys who are having a good time. They're purposefully kind of doing bad rap, and they're like being at a party and not knowing each other. And then lots of different shots, like in the pool in front of balloons on a stage.
But if
right?
you look at it, if you look at like the opening montage and then you look at this video, it's obvious that it was recorded before and they just had it.
They
so
do look
put it-
noticeably younger.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Thank you.
Another Castaways. This time they're posing on a beach near a large rock, and that is it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's quick though.
Yeah, and there's a
Commercial break.
Yep. And then they acknowledge that Yorma and Akiva have weird names. And they're in front of the crowd, in front of that stoop, and the live studio audience. And Andy says, I will change my name. And he takes audience suggestions. I'll say the first one. He says, ass face. He says, no. Do you remember the other ones?
Outfit stealer.
And that gentleman right there, I recognize him from other, like maybe even, Hot Rod was what I was
Yes.
going to mention at some point. He is in that.
He's kind of been this guy who hovers around.
satellite guy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he was definitely in Hot Rod. And he was just in his boxers. He made it sound like Andy had stolen
and he
his
goes,
clothes.
I told you I didn't steal your clothes. You came in here like that.
And he goes like,
And
okay.
then he acknowledges.
Yeah,
like, he's
yeah.
just like, okay, he drops it.
And then Andy stands up and says, hey, you should be Andy.
Well,
He's
it's Andy in the crowd.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a,
talking to himself.
yes.
That harkens back to a great Conan bit when Will Ferrell used to come on back in the day. Will Ferrell would get up in front of the live studio audience and like do a little bit or do something, and then he would start talking to himself in the crowd. If you haven't seen that,
I haven't.
Google it. It's very funny. He's always in the crowd wearing like the Michael Jackson red leather jacket and stroking his mustache. It's very funny.
Yeah, I'm really into it.
All right, thank you. Castaways again. Andy gives out a coconut for best beard to Yorma's shitty beard,
And then he-
Yorma's like a shitty winner too.
Yeah,
He's got
he's like,
He takes it and chucks it in the ocean.
yeah, that was good.
Which I kept thinking to myself, like, that coconut's probably priceless to think guys that are stranded on an island.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of trees with him.
The next one is a weird thing. It's Frazzles the Awesometown Squirrel. It's a shitty cartoon. It seems like he sounds almost like a high-pitched Harry Carey. I don't know if you guys.
This one I laughed at, actually. To be fair, I didn't really, like, laugh until we got to this.
This is one of the longest ones.
This was-
This
yes,
is
for
definitely
sure.
one of the longest
Yeah.
ones.
The squirrel says hoobastank a couple times, which the dudes would go on to use in several other things, including Hot Rod.
Yeah.
I think he comes out of his coma or being injured by saying hoobastank. So it's something that's a funny word that they like to use, and it bleeds into the sketch where you're now watching the BU, which I think is like the WB,
Yeah.
right?
And the whole point of the squirrel is like, hey, we're going to watch some 3D. I'll tell you when to put your 3D glasses on.
And it's just two people having a conversation.
Well, and the girl's from Scrubs. That's what.
Sarah Chalk, yep.
'Cause she
That
was-
is her?
Yeah,
It
she's the one-
really looked like her.
Yeah,
but
she didn't
Boo
want to
was
Scrubs.
also short for, like, Malibu, right? Like, that was
The
part-
Boo,
it was-
probably.
I think because they
Yeah.
flash Malibu on the screen and they show, like, Southern California. They do the whole
it's
thing.
the whole teen drama. It's a spoof on the
Yeah.
whole teen drama,
yeah,
like
kinda like-
90210.
That is her, though? Man, that for whatever reason I looked at her, I was like, maybe not.
I tweeted her, no response. But yeah, I think it's supposed to be like kind of the CW, the BU, the Boo,
The OC, yeah, yes.
exactly, the Hills, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like a shitty teen melodrama with the dudes and Sarah Chalk, and then Yorma shows up to Sarah's house, and they're quietly catching up over coffee, and then Frazzles, the cartoon squirrel, keeps popping up in the corner, and telling us to put on the 3D glasses.
And again, all they're doing is talking to each other. And what I didn't get right from the outset was that they could hear him. I don't think they sold it
I
at
didn't
first.
understand. No.
Until he does it enough that they start to get really pissed
Well,
off.
I think that was the joke of it is
You weren't supposed to know at
you
first.
weren't supposed to know until
I thought the joke was, this is clearly not a scene set up for 3D. Like she's like putting her finger out unnecessarily.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
in the
Pointing
lighter.
at him,
No,
yes.
I think that was one
Layer of the joke.
layer of it.
Yeah.
But the other layer of it was like he was quote unquote a director, kind of like in the background.
Right.
You know, and he's like,
They're
"Get ready, here we go.
There's
Put
one
on your glasses."
notoriously bad example is like Friday the 13th Part 3 was in 3D, and there's a lot of like just like shots that went on 2-3 seconds too long where they're clearly like pointing something
Right, just to have something
Right.
in 3D.
It's ridiculous.
Because
That's what this is.
unnecessarily.
the BU
yeah.
would have no 3D effects ever, and that was the joke. Was we have to make it 3D, to promote it.
So Frazzles keeps coming up, and he starts to interacting with the actors while the show is going on, which, a cartoon that needs to be drawn and produced versus something that's been recorded is a ridiculous. Obviously, they're not really interacting, but that's how they're playing it.
Glasses on.
And then you get goodbyes, kind of like at the end of Saturday Night Live, where everyone's on the.
That's exactly what I wrote down. Like
Yeah.
SNL style goodbyes.
For sure.
where they're all on the set with their moms and everyone else, and they throw to them playing with a puppy.
Yeah, they're like, and the last thing we're gonna show is us playing with a puppy, and like it's only like 3 seconds long, and then it's just a still shot of like a Boston Terrier like face.
Right.
It's
And that's it. Oh, thank God,
Ugh.
that's it.
Really? Thank God.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Boy, oh boy. Why didn't this work, Matt? Three guys who are gaining clout in the comedy scene, early adopters of online, not necessarily viral, but taking advantage of being able to post videos online, but kind of catching the eye of a Jimmy Fallon who was really hot in 2005.
Yeah.
Why didn't this work?
So I believe, if I'm not correct, and I don't remember if you mentioned it at the beginning, but this was meant for Fox. This was piloted to Fox I
Originally,
believe.
and then shopped around a little bit to other places after that.
So I'm going to pick on Fox a little bit, and my score is actually not going to, just a bit of a spoiler alert, my score is not going to reflect this next comment, but I think Fox just wasn't in the mood in 2005. They canceled one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh, okay.
Arrested Development. You have Jeffrey Tambor. I mean, you have David Cross. You have some of just these like Hall of Fame talents. And I digress. But anyway, that's two shows that they canceled. One that was fairly well established in its third season, but then you have this one, which has some. They're not. Andy Samberg's not an A-list, but you have SNL talent on this. So why didn't it work? I don't know. It's just this montage of shorts, and I think it's for a very specific audience. I caught myself laughing only a handful of times, and I'm by no means some representation of the masses, but I did see just a lack of continuity. I couldn't pick out what the theme was. I know it was Awesometown. I know there was shots of this city or town that they've made up as they've scrolled through their shorts, but I just couldn't latch on to any one thing to carry me into another episode.
What do you think, Blake? What would you do to improve Awesometown?
I really think these guys were young at the time. They were, they had just gone to L.A. They just started living together. They were doing this thing that was working, but I feel like it was unrefined.
Yes.
They were young.
Unpolished.
They were unpolished and young. And I think that's why. Maybe 3 years down the road, if this would have came up, but with nothing happening before that, because I watched a lot of it. I got into like a YouTube
No, that's great. Yeah.
sinkhole.
Rabbit hole.
These guys
rabbit
are
hole.
totally worth it.
Yeah, and definitely do that. But I saw it progress in regards to the quality of writing. It was still a lot of times, kind of immature humor, but they tied it all together more later on, and I think that's what it was. It was just unrefined. I think it was unrefined, and they were young.
Yep.
That's a good analysis. Yeah. You watch shows we have a stack of Mr. Show DVDs that you just pointed to, Matt, when you're talking about David Cross and his involvement with Arrested Development, but shows like Mr. Show or like Kids in the Hall or The State, other shows in that time period, they were kind of absurdist, intelligent quote, I don't know, like faux intelligent comedy shows that did kind of have a theme or found a way to tie things together. This didn't have that.
Because like on The State, like their skits, just kind of like Mighty Python too, they were different, but they all went together. Like you go from one to the other, and Mighty Python was the same way. It was like we have this joke and this bit, and it's going to somehow tie into the next bit, even though it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it might be as simple as having one character from the previous sketch run through the scene or something. Some loose way to tie it together. That just wasn't here. It was
something to hold on to. Anything
very unrefined. A lot of just kind of spitting stuff out. But I think that's what they did on their website. I don't think they created a web or a sketch show on their website as much as they did just created these individual bits.
Yep.
This show didn't things happened for these guys the way they should have because they've all been very successful post this. I think if you ever listen to any of their albums, they've had like 3-4 albums.
So the Lonely Island album. I don't know. I was probably listening to it 2008, 2009. One of the albums. I think it had T-Pain on them. T-Pain on I'm on a Boat is one I remember.
It's like Incredibad or like Gold Turtleneck and Chain.
And that was actually kind of catchy. That was really funny. And it was produced well. And maybe that's too high a bar. We've talked about that with other pilots before in the past, is that these are pilots, their budgets are small. At times, and they're trying to win the eye of an executive producer, and I don't know if they were able to do that here.
I don't want to say that they've defined comedy for their time, but they're definitely a big part of what's happening comedically starting around this time and almost continuing today with some of their projects. You know, like, even like Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
I was just going to mention that.
or Pop Star. You know, they were all in Pop Star. They were essentially the leads in this group of guys. Did you ever see Pop Star?
I didn't, but
it's funny.
Yeah.
It's rated R. It's what you want to see from these guys. It didn't do very well, but it spawned some great, like the soundtrack of Pop Star is great.
Hot Rod was brilliant. I know we mentioned it a few moments
It
ago.
honestly is probably one of my favorite comedies ever. No joke.
It's hilarious, yeah.
But it's the right movie at the right time. Yeah. Like if someone says to me, "Hey, I'm a 55-year-old man. You know what I love? I love Airplane." I say, I saw Airplane, and I think it's kind of stupid. Well, guess what? That guy grew up when Airplane was coming up, and it was awesome to him.
Right.
10 years from now, someone's going to
O.J.
watch...
Simpson, am I right?
Oh, exactly.
Can anyone fly this plane that didn't have the fish?
Someone's going to watch Hot Rod in 10 years and be like,
Yeah.
oh, this is ridiculous. That hit me at the right time. I saw it when I was about like 30 or something. I was like, oh, this is really funny. This is kind of what's happening in comedy right now. These guys did that. I don't know that was represented here. I think it was very unpolished. A lot of the things that they do with their albums come out very well produced, and they care. They don't do shitty versions of genres. They do a good job when it comes to rapping. They are good rappers.
And where it is at the time that they're doing this, they're still maybe only like a year and a half, 2 years into doing it, and the quality so they don't have any money. Just like when they're roommates, they don't have any money. They're just. I watched their White Power video. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
I don't think I've seen that.
And I. Okay, so it's multiple skits tied together, just like I was saying, and I think that's when they figured it out. It's called White Power, but it's about whitening, like teeth whitening thing, and they have like 4 skits that tie into each other. And like when I watched that one after watching this pilot, I was like, oh, this is quality. This is like they're figuring out like, oh, these have to go together somehow. We can still do the jokes in between, but it has to go together somehow. So watch White Power.
I think
watch White Power on YouTube by
White Power.
Lonely Island.
Just
So
go
many
to
things.
go to Google, type in White Power.
Just
I'm
watch. Yeah.
Whatever comes up, just watch
Yeah.
it. I will say, I think the most recent thing that came out by them was maybe last year. Was called the Bash Brothers Experience. Are you guys familiar with this?
I watched about half of it. I watched about half of it.
Who's it about?
I grew up with Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire with
I did
of
see
the
it.
Oakland A's.
No. I saw
and
this.
the drugs and
You watched it? You said?
No.
steroids.
But I read a clip about it.
It's like about a half hour long.
Yep.
It pretty much is just one long music video.
Sure.
But it is very funny, and they did a great job. And there's a ton of faces you'll recognize in
Right.
there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Again, it ties in. There's a half hour worth of storytelling being told through these different songs and different styles of music.
Right.
Yep.
Definitely worth a watch. I think still on Netflix. I've probably seen it 2 or 3 times, and maybe I'll go watch it tonight. Still, it's it's funny.
Naked?
I mean, it's really none of your business how I decide to watch it now, is it?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Just going for
as is our
content.
consent, please make sure your seat backs and your tray tables are in their full upright
That's what I
position.
thought.
Final Descent. Other people have seen this around the world, and now we have too. But let's see what their 2 cents were. Matt, what do you think people from around on IMDb rated Awesometown, a scale of 1 to 10 decimal points in play?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7.2.
Close.
Is it?
Close.
Blake knows because he cheated, and what is it?
8.1.
8.1 from 652
Nice.
ratings.
That's one of the biggest ones we've
That's
had.
a big one.
It's
Yep.
a large one. Yeah.
You're damn right. It's a large one.
No, you're a disgusting person. Critic reviews. Alex Finch from ComedyToWatch.com says, unsurprisingly, the network passed on it, as did Comedy Central when offered the show, and that was that. Given the quality of the second pilot, I'm not surprised in the slightest, and I'm still perplexed that the trio thought it was better than the first. It is enormously disheartening that Fox didn't pick up the pilot, though. It had a lot of great gags and funny sketches, was far dafter, and all the better for it. And considering how few decent sketch shows have been aired over the years, it's frustrating that the Lonely Island weren't given a shot. Still, they're around to this day and creating material which is even better, so I shan't complain just this once. viewer reviews. 9 out of 10 stars. Exploding high five. This is an interesting one because it's from Busmaster Jones from November 14th, 2006. This is either right when Andy Samberg got on SNL, right before. So these guys were kind of still this novelty act that the majority of people didn't know. He said, this is a funny pilot that was done for Fox but never aired since Fox rejected the concept. A search for Awesometown video on Google or another search engine will lead you to 20 minutes of fun in this quirky show. It was apparently intended to be a 30-minute show featuring the boys listed here. Their budding comic genius sparkles in the perpetually perky and perfect Everytown USA. The occasional introduction of reality into the sketches makes for great comic tension. It is certainly worth a look. You'll leave wanting more episodes, and you will hum the Awesometown songs all day.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum.
While the concepts are simple, the sketches are well done. Just two guys having a good time, and castaways are memorable. But it's the theme that makes it great. Blake, did you write this 15 years ago, 14 years ago?
You know it.
All right. The last one is titled just Mediocre Town. I'm not going to get into it, but we will go to our last part of the program here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
It was a good decision hiring her.
It was.
Yeah.
All these years later, we look back.
One of your better hires. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Well, DSJ was a good hire too.
Blake, how do we rate these pilots?
1 through 7. 1 being the worst. That's a Roy Biggins. 7 being the best is Brian Hackett. It's based off of the wonderful sitcom and television show Wings. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's great. But each character, which Jason's about ready to go through, 1 being the worst is a Roy Biggins. 2 is a
Faye Cochran,
number 3 is a
Antonio Scarpacci,
4 is a
Joe Hackett,
5 is a
Bud Bronski.
Blood Bronsky.
Blood Bronsky. What is this, October? Number 6 is a
Helen Chapel.
and number 7 is Yep. So check out the show. Anyway, Matt, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Likewise.
And you're probably one of the only guests that know the rules, know everything up, like the score and everything.
He's hosted the show, for God's sake. He knows.
Yeah.
And so when you're on, I understand that you're going to process everything correctly. 1 through 7, what is your score for Awesometown?
I won't belay. A Joe Hackett of 4 is probably what I'm going to give this.
Okay. Why?
I think the intent was to laugh along the way. I would consider myself very interested in what was happening next, and it was all coming at me very fast. But I didn't find it to be as, I don't know, my style maybe. So
My style.
My style.
Don't watch the new Borat movie. It's stupid.
I haven't seen it. No good.
I made it through a half hour. That's all I could do.
Yeah. So for me, I think to move it to a 5 or even a 6, I don't know a better way to say it. Probably would have had to hit my funny bone a few more times.
All right.
Like because that struck me as the whole intent. And,
Sure.
And also, like the SNL, they were kind of brazen about, like, especially even with like the goodbye on the stage at the end. I would like to see some, I don't know, maybe just this much lack of originality for me.
Okay.
That I saw. Yep.
I respect your views and thoughts.
Captain Philip Rescher, I turn to you. How do you rate Awesometown?
Awesometown. Again, they weren't refined yet. They were too young. I don't necessarily think that they were trying to copy like SNL in regards to like the monologue at the end. I think that was just that we're doing a sketch show. We have to come out at the beginning. We have to come out at the end. Again, just two guys. I haven't seen anything funnier on a sketch show, or if you Google.
What was it about that you just tickled you so
I
much?
loved the fact that it was so awkward. Oh, I apologize.
What was that?
That was Siri. Well, it's not Siri. For
No,
me.
that sounded like someone screaming
It did.
in pain.
Sound like some-
What was that?
It was the Google thing.
I can't imagine that's true, but go ahead.
that they were so stoic and awkward.
I loved the awkwardness, but yet the lyrics were good. Like, I mean, it was just like it was good raps, and I will be honest with you, of the wormhole that I went through with Lonely Island Boys, I like the Just Two Guys songs and videos better than I like Dick in a Box and I Just Had Sex. I just think they're more well constructed in the videos. I love the awkwardness. It's two white guys talking about getting laid. You know, they're awkward. And I kind of like these two better than Andy Samberg. I really do. I think that I think these guys are like the core to what makes this happen.
I think there's something magical when all three of them get together.
And also, have you seen the new movie with on Hulu with Adam Sandberg? Yeah, the one.
Bandy Samby?
It's like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, it's called Palm Springs.
Have you seen it?
I saw it, I think, the week it came out.
Yes.
I liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Anyway, but I understand this is it's three guys that it's great. It's great. Parts of it are great. Parts of it aren't. I like that it was short and choppy. Like,
if you don't give me your score, I'm going to kill you.
hey, you know what? Fuck you. I give it a 4.
Same as Matt.
I wanted to give it more, but you know, your points are the same as mine.
We learn sometimes during the show, and sometimes while we're talking about it, it changes how we feel about it, I think.
No, I wrote 4 down earlier today about.
Then forget what I just said.
11 o'clock.
I started out at a 1.
Talked myself off.
Yeah.
I bet you do talk yourself off. It's the only way you can get off.
When's that voice going to drop, huh? That's for Matt.
That's that 2005, baby.
I said it earlier, and things panned out for these guys the way that we're supposed to. Say Awesometown went for 5 years on Fox. These guys still would not have been as big as they are now because that's all they would have been doing. In the meantime, they've enjoyed success making, directing, writing films,
and they're doing these raunchy songs or whatever, but yet they can do the Lego song, you know?
Right?
Yeah, so they have the versatility.
They did, and like I said, anytime that they tackle a genre of music, they do so genuinely, and they do it well. Because a lot of times you would hear like someone trying to imitate like a Weird Al, where it sounds crappy and it's dumb. But these guys produce high quality, funny versions of different genres of music.
Sure. There's like they do this like goth song that like the subject matter isn't really that good. It just seemed like a 30 Seconds to Mars kind of song. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like the content is good, but you keep watching it because they do whatever genre they're in, they do it, and they do it, you know, well.
And they've produced a ton of content. Virtually every week there was an SNL digital short that they were responsible for. I mean, that's part of the reason they were hired there is like, hey, can you create some pre-taped content that we can put on, you know, before the news comes on? You know, and they did a great job with it. It wasn't always Andy starring in it or one of the guys. Sometimes it was like a Will Forte. His is one of my favorite that I've ever done. Do you ever see the one where he's on a rooftop with Megan Fox talking about raising lambs and being on a SWAT team? It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Will Forte is the best person they've ever had on SNL. Yeah. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's good.
And they did a digital short with him. They recognized some of this stuff. They recognized Chris Parnell, an aging SNL actor who went on to do the first viral video of Lazy Sunday and came back on Andy Samberg's last show to do Lazy Sunday too. You know, they've created some hallmark moments for that franchise, and that's not nothing. This is not that. Not a lot to laugh at for me here. There were some funny things. There were glimpses of what these guys are capable of, but they came into their own in the following years, probably learning a lot at SNL and getting a lot of opportunities as a result of working for that franchise. I'm going to go lower than you guys. I'm going to give it a 3.
Wow, I'm surprised.
I
thought you would for it.
I thought I was low, man.
I thought you would for it for sure.
I wanted to like this more than I did. I would watch another episode or two if it came on. I don't think that I would like it, though.
But it's a good day to go swimming.
I suppose that it is. That's a reference I don't understand. What's that from?
It's a little titty bit.
That's a titty bit?
Just move along. It's fine.
I will move along. With your guys'
from move along.
4s
Yeah.
and my 3, we close the book on Awesometown, and we will never speak of that show again.
Yeah.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of the NORLISS tapes. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. An investigative reporter stumbles into an artist that has made a pact to come back after his death to sculpt a statue of a demon using human blood and clay. Once the demon is awakened, he will be granted immortality.
It's gonna be 70 minutes. It's got to be. Like,
He's right. He's
it's
right.
gotta be.
It doesn't
it's-
sound
it's-
short.
No,
No.
yeah,
No, you're
There's
right.
a lot of setup.
It's a long one. You can find the entire episode of the NORLISS tapes by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice. And then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes or go to YouTube. Matthew.
You'll know what to do, tubes.
NORLISS tapes sounds like a C.S. Lewis thing, doesn't it?
So, was it, the NORLISS tapes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that fits.
Yeah. How would you contact the show if you're so inclined, Blake? Finish yawning first. Wait.
This guy, it's a miracle he's still awake.
He's tired.
Just go to couchpilotspodcast.com. That's the one-stop shop for all the links to our show. Couchpilotspodcast.com. You can go to our Instagram, which we update every day.
Yeah, our MySpace.
We update our MySpace, everything. Go there for sure. There's a dial-in number. Jason, what's the dial-in number?
It's 910 Pilots 1-910-745-6871. Leave us a message. What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
More noises out of your phone. How is that worse than me eating chocolate chip cookies?
It's a lot different.
It's not.
They have oatmeal in them.
They're not gluten free.
Oatmeal is not good for you.
Thank you.
It's not.
Thank you for both of you for organizing a little surprise.
I did.
Happy birthday,
I
brother.
did absolutely nothing. I actually thought it was
it's-
next week. So
No.
Well, I appreciate you guys working together and having Matthew come tonight. He's one of the best men I know in my life, and I love him, and I'm so happy that he's here. And his wife made me cookies. Incredible.
yeah.
She
I'm
loves
so
him.
glad she
loves him. Yeah, there's a picture at our wedding where it looks like they're married, and or that they just.
I would like to
just
see that
betrothed.
picture. Can I please see that picture?
Yeah, I think you sent it to me recently, and I saved it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that's what was happening at the time. That's how it looked.
you didn't know that you were becoming betrothed.
Making a vow.
That's right.
Did you find it already?
That's the closest he'll ever get to getting married.
How dare you?
Matt, I want to apologize in advance if and when his stupid girlfriend makes him get married to her.
Only I can say that.
Don't get mad that I'm going to be the best man. I'm going to do the best man speech. You know what? Let's do a collab. Me and you do a collab.
How about we do a short?
You know what? Let's do
A pre-recorded
let's
short.
do a rap.
Yes,
It's a best man speech.
I just found it, Jay.
Did
I'm
you?
gonna
Okay.
send it I'm gonna send it to you.
No, I have it somewhere. Oh, I got it too now, actually.
Okay.
Go ahead and show them.
All right,
We'll both show them at the same time.
double dose it. Look at this.
That's me with my daughter when she was about
Look at that.
1.5, 2.
Beautiful,
It's a beautiful family.
beautiful.
And that's
family.
Beautiful family.
That's my daughter's half brother Ace at the bottom there.
What happened to your hair?
I shaved it all off.
Why would you do that? You look like an idiot.
Heather didn't think so.
that's
She
not-
was ready.
You're better with hair than without hair.
That's not the reason we showed you this.
That
He
can I
can't
put
get
this
away.
on our Instagram?
He can't get
Can
away
I put
from
this
it,
on our
Jerry.
Instagram?
No, please don't. And basically, because Instagram would be like, you don't use us.
Please log in. What's your password?
All right, very good. Thank you for that.
a great show.
Anything that you want to talk about or plug here at the end?
Just your birthday, brother. Honestly, that's really what the stop by tonight was about. I said it was a red eye that I needed to catch. Hopefully, we make it. I do have a commitment.
meeting about a
a
meeting?
commitment in the morning. Yeah.
When you work for Komatsu, you have a meeting about a meeting.
That's true.
It's coming up in a month
Yeah,
for a meeting.
It's true. I'm a professional meeting goer.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
there's that piece of it. But Jay, happy birthday,
Microsoft
brother.
Outlook.
Can't be more thrilled to just share a few hours and celebrate and
That really does mean
just
a
say,
lot that you guys.
just say thanks for being you.
thank you so much for being here. That really means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Now you say something great about me.
Well, I didn't get a chance last week to say anything about your birthday because Matt was kind of like hogging it, and it was all about him.
Sure.
I told you I was hijacking it.
But I would say
I'm just going to sit back and accept this praise.
Okay.
Bask.
you are probably one of my closest friends. Not my best, but you're my closest friend. I love you dearly. You have so many qualities that I wish I had, and that's why I hang out with the two of you. You both have qualities that I don't have.
And you round us out.
That's like throwing coins to like a homeless person.
That's not true. He doesn't believe me, but I think highly of this guy. I know this is meant for Jay, but I really do. I promise you.
Jason, I love you very much, and we've spent a lot of time together. Some would say maybe too much time.
I've had more than one girlfriend say, "Why are you married?
Why are you married?
Why are
to
you
this
married?
guy?
No, that's what I was gonna say. Really, why are you married to Blake?
Why do you let him fuck you in the asshole? No,
No, they haven't said that.
I'm glad
I think
that-
one of them said. Let
Let me be very clear. None of them have said that.
All right.
That was someone else. Anyway.
I'm glad flannel season is back. You had the guns for flannel for sure. You're a very good friend of mine. I love you dearly, and thank you for putting up with me about 4 hours every 2 weeks.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Couple months ago.
It's been a few weeks now. At the time we're recording, though, my birthday is tomorrow. But thank you very much. I didn't expect this. Past the age of 10, you're kind of gilding the lily when you're celebrating your birthday in a big way. So I never expect anything, but I always appreciate it when someone does make a note or does something special. And I consider this something very special. So thank you both very much.
Cheers.
Is that it? Or do you have anything else you want to say? Not about me, but like just...
No, that's all.
How
I
about a
want.
message of positivity? I don't mean to steer here, but
I like where Matt's going here. Do you have a message of positivity?
No.
Okay, this pilot may have been...
No, the election's over. COVID is on its fourth wave. We're all going to die. You know what? Helping can.
makes it all go away,
That's
right?
the message of positivity. Helping can.
helping can.
Helping can. If you have stuff in your life that's bothering you,
Grab a beer.
grab more than one. But remember, just like a medicine, it will help solve some symptoms, but it will rise up other symptoms. So you got to kind of just balance that out.
A fatty liver, right?
Or a rash underneath your belly button.
I want updates on the rash. I'm more interested in your rash than your
should have saw-
potential anal
I can't
cancer.
remember what Heather.
2 weeks ago, it was really bad. If I would have saw it to you 2 weeks ago, you guys both would have left.
would have
It
thrown
was
up.
bad.
This pilot may have been rough as Blake's rash, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you both, and thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, man.
Much better.
Bye.